We're on.
Yep.
Greetings, family. Well, it turns out that this UTUBE is just having problems. Now, I'm going to pick up from where I left off because that was a lot of information that I already gave in the first part before they shut us down. So I decided to use this other company and have it put up, regardless of what this thinking company wants to do to me. But here I am. And if you're interested, I would tell you to start with the first video. Then come and pick up where we left off. And we left off, I told you about the president. It's one of the three presidents. And he came out on television and he told the Iraqi citizens that Iraq has returned to exercise its pivotal role regionally and internationally. Now, I'm pretty sure that you were able to hear everything I had to say about that. In fact, let me ask somebody. Darcy, Robert Donahue, Mr. Holliday, Jeff, any of you, did you get to hear when on the first UB2, the first video, did you get to hear where I took it up to the president? Do you know everything what the president was saying? If someone could post and let me know, yes or no. Ah, I have a yes from, that looks probably Claire. Okay, I see a lot of yeses now. Thank you. You stopped that boy. What's it? It's gone? Why'd they get rid of it?
I'm not watching it. You stopped it, boy, if they don't. It's still there.
Oh, yeah, boy, if they don't. So that means we're over here. Ah, next report. This is on the television, sir. And the reason that we see Sudani's name on the list and the framework backing him again is because the framework has the final say, and your Savaya is threatening. Did we not talk about that in the first video? Is threatening either a government with American influence or face the consequences. What were my last words in that first video before we were canceled? You better. So they're telling us that Savaya is basically threatening, threatening Iraq, Sudani, whoever. You better get this Oliver and Wyman program complete. You better sit your government with American influence or face the consequences. We've already talked about the consequences, family. Next report. I can't see. Next report. TV has this. TV has this. Al Salamini settles the debate. Maritime zone maps will be deposited with the United Nations to guarantee Baghdad's rights. That's big. Next report. Oh, and then he said, and all of this about Shaleh Braham appointed the head of the United Nations Refugee Affairs, they're telling us. Who cares? Then he says, I can see now. Yeah, and then he says, Frank, do you guys have a tax code? You know, for when we go when you go exchange your currency, do you guys know what your taxes are going to be? I said, maybe yes, maybe no. Why you ask that? Because we're all talking about it here. You see, Eddie's, Eddie's, brother is in America, and he's going to exchange for American dollars. And we were talking to some people here, and they gave us a lot of information, which he sent to me. I don't know if I should share this. And in fact, I'm not going to right now. But I'll show you what he did. Then he says, I can't believe they talk this way. Then he says, well, partner, here's the rundown. Okay, here's the rundown from what we found out here. Really? You guys say rundown? Yeehaw, y'all come back now, you hear? And it says, well, partner, here's the rundown. If you're wrangling, it does say that. You guys were just in a playful mood. That's all. You're trying to do John Wayne. Is that what it is? Uh-huh. Well, all right, partner. All right. Yeah. Well, partner, here's the rundown. If you're wrangling with those capital gains, it's like this. Everything I say to you is in my opinion. Long-term capital gain taxes come in a long gain capital taxes come in a something, and it's wrong, than your regular income taxes. Long-term capital gain taxes come in a bit gentler than your regular income taxes, something like that. Instead of the big old 37% federal bite, you're more likely looking at a top rate of around 20% if you're holding onto those investments for a year. Now, as you listen to all of this conversation that Omar's friends in the bank above him had, you're going to realize that, oh my goodness, that's exactly what FRANK26 taught us. Now, I questioned them and I said, are you saying this because you heard me say this? Oh, no. No, this is our discussion, and we would like your opinion about it. Okay. What?
Well, I just wanted to make sure you had a drink.
Did I show it to you? So he's trying to tell me that if you hold on to it for a while, he says regular income tax is about 37% federal bite. You're more likely looking at a top rate of around 20% if you're holding onto these investments for over a year and have the receipt. So you might say, sir, it's a darn sight friendlier to your wallet. That's what they were. Okay, let me go back up here. Well, partner, here's the rundown. If you're wrangling with those capital gains, it's like this. Long-term capital gain taxes come in a bit gentler than your regular income tax. Instead of that big old 37% federal bite, you're more likely looking at a top rate of around 20% if you're holding onto your investments at least for a year with the receipt. So you may say it's a darn sight. Should be right. So you could say it's a darn right friendlier to your wallet that way. All in all, Mr. Frank, it is a smoother ride tax-wise if you play it the long-term way. Omar says this to my brother in USA when he exchanges the dinar. If over 1 year, should look at going to capital gains will be less than 20%, less than 20% than ordinary income at 37% at your exchange. Now, he gives me something. What's the blue title? Tax code?
Codes.
Huh?
Tax codes.
Tax code?
Codes.
Codes. Now, what I'm about to read to you, we're not tax consultants. We're not wealth management advisors. We're not here to tell you that this is, spot on. Although what I just read to you so far, it is. But the next part, you take this information. In fact, I was not going to give it to you, but no. You take this information and you vet it, you verify it, you make sure that you're happy with this. It could be wrong. Everything I'm saying to you is just in my opinion. How do you like my black shirt? That's my opinion. What's your opinion? If over a year, you should look at going to capital gains will be less than 20% than ordinary income, which is at 37% at your exchange. Use your tax code 988 for foreign exchange, and you will have the option of picking which way. That's tax code 988. Just thought I would send this to you, Mr. Frank. Okay, thank you for your opinion. I thank you very much. And okay, continuing with their reports. Iraq opens today the world's largest consulate for diplomats from around the world. All these diplomats that have come in is because Iraq has its sovereignty. It's in Erbil, the capital of Kurdistan region. It is on 50 acres. This is like I said, this is the world's largest consulate for all world diplomats coming into our country. For 1310? No. It underscores Washington's commitment to Iraq. The world is seeing that just by looking at this place. This shows the safeguard of the United States in Iraq and relations. This is a secure command center. Don't forget that command center. This is a secure command center. Economically, it helps grow. It helps growth for Iraq and the foreign investors. You're learning a lot tonight, family. A lot of this is maybe not your cup of tea. Maybe you don't understand some of it. You'll read articles. Maybe I'll open it up to Q&A. You can ask more questions. But this is, so far, 4 powerful things have been presented to us. Powerful things. We know they're the first domino. We know they're the linchpin. We know that, okay, hold on. This place is massive. All the diplomats, all the ambassadors, everybody that's coming from all around the world, they're here and they're looking at it and they're saying, holy cow, this is for us? Yeah. What else is for us here in Iraq? And Mr. Frank, it underscores that Washington's commitment to Iraq. Everybody that's coming in here, they're all seeing the size of this place and they're saying, oh my gosh, what kind of a relationship do you have with the United States of America, Iraq? And we tell them it's the best. This place is a secure command center. This is a secure command center. Do you know what that is? Do you know what Camp Comp is? When we went to the moon, Neil Armstrong said that he was going down the ladder and he said, Capcom, opening the door now. Goes in one ear and out the other for most people. But I knew what he meant. He was talking to the head leader of the command center there in Florida. Oh, excuse me, in Houston. And they're trying to tell the world that what we've built here, it's it is a secure command center. For what? It shows the world. It shows the world the safety of Iraq. This can indirectly affect the dinar. You think so, Eddie? Oh yes. All these people that are investing, they see this place. It definitely will affect the dinar because it shows the world the safety of Iraq by the United States building this fortress. When all these ambassadors, all these representatives that are coming in here, Mr. Frank, when they see this place, they go, holy golly. How close are you guys with America? It shows the world the safety of Iraq, having the United States of America building this fortress. It will boost the confidence of the dinar. It will boost the confidence of the Iraqi citizens that will be holding the dinar, is what you mean. This also shows reduced Iranian influence. Ura. USA helped to build this on 50 acres. Others around the world that are coming in are saying this place is massive. Other places are way smaller than this one. In Iraq, we're not the small. We are the world's biggest. And so is your CBI building. Who do you think did all this? "50 acres." Others around the world are coming in. They're all see the others are way smaller than this one. And in Iraq, it is the world's largest. True confidence. True. I like that. I like that. You know, we're looking for security and stability, and we're looking for the citizens to have confidence. But this is true confidence. This is true confidence in the dinar, and it will drive it up. This is a key to help investors come into Iraq. The CBI has mandated the dinar only in our country. This also is to show the world our confidence in our currency. All this is, in my opinion, about the revaluation of our dinar. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your input. Then he says, guess what? What? Remember that economist? Yeah, I like that guy. What about him? He's at it again. Economist again on TV. He's back on there again, and he's saying the same thing again. Same thing. Economist again on TV, and he says, so they have actually confirmed that the current 1310, I changed voices because it's now it's the Economist, right? So they actually have confirmed that the current 1310 dinar exchange rate is set to expire at the end of December 2025. Basically, Mr. Frank, that means that they're planning some kind of adjustment or a shift once that date hits. So, yep, there's definitely a change on the horizon. This is my teens in Iraq. This is their opinion. And you know what? It's mine too. Continuing. Maliki is saying there is American pressure. Maliki is saying there is American pressure and Iranian influence. for picking the next prime minister. Knucklehead. First of all, Malachi, who asked you? Crawl back in your spider hole. And second of all, of course, there's pressure for you to shut your mouth. Iranian insult. Next report. Now the television Shafat News exclusive report. Iraq announces the completion of 5 projects for the Grand Fault port by the end of 2025. Add another one to the list, Mr. Frank. Yeah, I know, gentlemen. Then I come in, and now I talk a lot. Basically, I'm responding to all of these reports, and here we go. It is Donald Trump's mission to remove the terrorism from Iran from your country, gentlemen, from the whole world. And guess what? He's doing just that. That's what gives you the security and the stability for your new exchange rate to come forth. Trump always goes to the source of evil and removes it at its basic core. In other words, he doesn't deal with superficial things. He doesn't deal with repetitive nonsense. He goes straight to the point and deals with the issue. With Iran, he blew them up. With Iran, he blew up their nuclear facilities. That was because that was the heartbeat of their evil. They wanted to hurt everybody with that. That heartbeat, that evil that no longer pumps evil into the world with their fear tactics. Mission accomplished, Donald Trump. For you, Iraq. For you, monetary reform. So, one of your presidents, this is the next one. So, one of your presidents says that Iraq has returned to the international community and to the regional community. In other words, inside of your country, you will have one-to-one purchasing power, and outside of your country, your dinar is free to grow. That's what he means. Eddie is saying that he hopes continuing, I say, gentlemen, so today the truth about Malachi's people came out. The only reason that they are supporting Sudani, as you know, is because they are afraid of Trump. They don't know what Trump will do to them. But, you know, he'll put sanctions back on Iraq. It'll affect them. If Iran wants to be bombed again, we can do that too. We won't even charge them a penny for the bombs. But it's not going to get to that point. And the reason why is because cowards run. The only time a coward is powerful is when he is attacking someone that is defenseless. Continuing. Omar, thank you for your opinion about that tax code that you just gave me, because it's exactly what I've been teaching for almost 20 years, in my opinion. If you hold your dinars and have a receipt over a year, you'll be in the 20 percentile tax range. If you don't have a receipt or haven't held it for more than a year, you'll be in the 40 percentile range. That's what I've been saying for a long time. Thank you. You got this from your friend at the bank. Tell him thank you, because it matches exactly with what we have been teaching. Now, as far as the codes that you just gave me, I thank you for those too, but I am not familiar with those codes. In fact, I may not give them out. Yeah. I told him, I said, in fact, I may not give out those codes just yet. But no, you guys are going to take them as an opinion. You're going to find out what they stand for, okay? I may not release those codes just yet, but I am grateful for this information. Thank you. It's motivating because once again, we match like mirror images. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Omar says that he remembers you saying one time, if you don't have receipts, don't worry. The U.S. Federal Reserve knows what you got. Is that correct, Frank? I answer that question in a minute. But before I do, I'm still answering questions from the earlier reports. They called it a secured command center? For real? They called it a secure command center. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful title. I like it. I like it very much. I like it mucho. That's a beautiful title for the security and stability that you now have for your monetary reform, to have the confidence to lift the 3 zeros and give the promised purchasing power to the citizens with the lower notes. Wow. I do love that title. I really do. Continuing. Kurdistan Television is saying that from the CBI, by the end of this year, all traders must register in the Akuta system. There it is again. Oh, there it is, that December 31st. Then I said, the world knows that the United States of America is not leaving Iraq. We're not going anywhere. And that also, like you said, Omar, brings great confidence to the investors of Iraq, to the monetary reform, to have the confidence to release the new exchange rate. Because when you have your bulldog next to you, nobody messes with you. That's why Iraq is in the perfect position right now, T-minus 20 days and counting, in my opinion, for them to shock us. According to them. Now, if that's wrong, that T-minus 20, that ain't me. I didn't invent that. That was them. Continuing. Omar says, that's right. About the Federal Reserve's having receipts of everything we purchase, if American citizens like my brother can have. Is that correct, Frank? Can my brother get a receipt from the U.S. Treasury? I answer a little bit. Continuing, I'm still answering the earlier reports that I just read to you. So the economist that is bragging about a new exchange rate, or should I say that is bragging about 1310 ending on December the 31st, he comes out again? Wow, that's 3 days in a row. If that doesn't send you a message, I don't know what else does. I mean, really, the guy is just repeating the same thing over and over again that was already exciting to begin with. Wow, if that doesn't send you a message, I don't know what else does. Logic says very clearly that when you end something, you replace it with something new. You don't replace it with something old. That is logical. Yes, Omar said that he says 1310 expires at the end of this year, and then he kind of just leaves it that way. He just leaves it that way. He walks away. He leaves it that way. That walks away. That Omar wants to know about his question. Oh, okay, yeah, and I answer his question about the percentiles in a minute. Then I say, Maliki is on the news. Maliki came out from his hole and talked. That's amazing. And he said that there's a lot of American pressure and Iranian influence in your country. Well, tell the genius, no kidding, Sherlock. And this Iranian presence feels the pressure from Donald Trump, doesn't he? That's why they are. That's why they are capitulating. That's why they are now saying, "Oh yeah, okay, Sudani is the prime minister." Yeah, 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 because they're scared of Trump. That's why they capitulated. That's why they are cowarding down. Cowarding, is cowarding a word? Yeah, that's why they're chicken shit. Frank, don't forget to answer Omar's question. About the 30%, 40%. Oh no. The question was, hey Frank, can my brother get a receipt from the U.S. Treasury? Because he lost his. I'll answer in a bit. I said, Frank, wait. All right. Omar was saying, Frank, that he was told that the Federal Reserves don't know anything about receipts on what currency that the U.S. citizens buy. Is that correct? I thought I heard you say different. Then finally, I answer his question, which you already know the answer because I've taught you all this. Concerning your receipt and our U.S. Treasury, yeah, they know when you purchase them, they know where you purchased them, but they do not give you any receipts. If you lost your receipts, they're not going to help you to finding an extra copy. That is solely your responsibility. And he said, "Hey, thank you, Omar. If your family bought the dinars with a credit card, tell them I tell you, I tell you." Okay, Mike Itsu just said, I never got a receipt in 24 when I bought them in Kuwait. Yeah, I know. They don't care about you. They don't care if you got a receipt or not. You buy something like that in America, you're damn right you're going to get a receipt. Anyways, look, Omar, if your family bought the dinars that they have with a credit card, tell them to get the statement from the credit card company. If they don't keep the statements that came in the mail, tell them to get a hold of the credit card company and have them send you a copy of that statement. Help the credit card company. Make sure that you tell them the month, the year, try to isolate it so that they can help you to get a receipt. That statement shows that you purchased it from a certain company. Voila. If you have Omar, if your family bought it and it arrived to them in the mail, the envelope that it came in, it is stamp marked receipt. If you paid with a check and you don't have the check, go to the bank again, pinpoint when you wrote the check. They will look it up in their records and they can give you a copy of the check that you use, receipt. Those are three options that I hope can be of some help to you all. Now, I love. We were cut off, so let me continue. I then answer his question about the receipt, and I also say, Omar, that's why the United States of America banks are actually reaching out to American citizens right now. But first, we have to reach out to them. Once we give our information, then they bombard us with so many people that want to talk to us about setting up an appointment, about talking to their people, about their investors, etc., etc., etc. The banks here in America know that we have dinars, but they can't talk to us about it unless we initiate the conversation first. And even then, they are still limited on how much they can express to us. But they are scurrying, they are hurrying to communicate with as many citizens America as possible because they want to acquire these customers when the time comes to exchange the 30 notes into American dollars. So there you go, Omar. I hope that was a complete explanation. And I also gave you three options in case you have lost the receipt. Next report. More from the president of Iraq, Frank. The president of Iraq, of the Republic. Remember, I told you they have three of them. After many years of isolation, Iraq has returned to playing its pivotal role. Oh. You ever notice how those communist news channels of fake news, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, all those garbage channels? You ever notice that when they say something and you change the channel, they're saying the same words, they're reading from the same script? It is a plan. Anyways, more from the president of the Republic. He says, many years of isolation, but Iraq has returned to playing its pivotal role. Where did you hear pivotal role already, family? Continuing. Gentlemen, first of all, I like that it's coming from one of the presidents. And second of all, for him to say that Iraq is returning to the pivotal role, well, let me ask that man, that president something. Excuse me, Mr. President, is 1310 a pivotal role for you to continue with, or are you returning to the RI? Because that's exactly what you mean. I am fascinated how every day they come up with new phrases, new words, new sayings to tell you the same thing, that you are now at T minus 20 days and counting, in my opinion, for the end of December. Here are more codes that we sent. All right, I agree. That's all. It's a lot. I'll tell you. Yeah, don't say it, Frank. Alrighty. Would you like a bank story? Hey, Tigger. How you doing, buddy? Okay. Yes. Alrighty. Mr. E, I'm about to call you. See, these bank stories, obviously, they're motivational, but more so, they're educational right now. They are telling us things that they have never told us before. Wait till you hear this one.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Kathy Joe.
No, it's all right. No, I'll try it one more time. I'll send him a text. If he doesn't answer, I actually think I have another bank story on in recording. Oh dear me! I dialed the wrong number. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness they didn't answer. That's embarrassing. It's a good thing I'm dark complected. You can't tell when I blush.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, Mr. E, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, excited because I know your story.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. In fact, it's a follow-up. With you, this whole story actually started back a while ago in Texas with Wells Fargo, and then you ended up in Florida with Wells Fargo, and then you ended up with BOA,
Exactly.
and then that combination brought you some amazing information. Mr. E, I'm going to be quiet. I got my notes here, and if I see that you miss anything, I'll remind you when you are done. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay. A couple of years ago, I was in Texas, and so I went to a Wells Fargo in South Texas, and I got them to finally admit that they knew something was coming. They didn't know when. They would take my name. They would call me when it happened. So I set up my 3 trust accounts, and I've had them there ever since. This winter, we came to Florida, so I went into the I went into the Wells Fargo here, and I said, I have 3 trust accounts with you, and I'm going to be doing a large currency exchange after the first of the year, and I would like to talk to your wealth manager to see what your bank's going to offer me and what they know. And I got a real cold shoulder from the wealth manager. Oh, you just do the currency exchanges over the counter. I don't have anything to do with that. And I said, well, I'm going to be doing a large exchange. He said, no, I don't even deal with that. You have to deal with them. So I was very discouraged. So Monday morning I got up and I said, well, I'm going to go to Bank of America and see what they know. They have a large Bank of America here. So I walked in, and the lady taking your name to who you can talk to. And I said, I'm looking to do a large currency exchange. And I said, it's going to be quite a bit of money, and I'm looking to talk to a wealth manager or somebody to see what your bank can offer. So she sent me into a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. And so I went in and talked to her, and I said, I have a lot of currency. I'm going to be doing an exchange. I have 3 trusts. I'm looking for a place that knows what's going on so I can set them up there. And she said, how much do you think it'll be? And I said, well, with the rates they're talking, it's going to be $200 million. And she said, oh my golly. She said, okay. She said, you will go to our private banking sector. And she said, I have to get some information from you. So going through the information,
At that point,
she realized that I had a South Dakota license.
Mr. E, hold on. At that point, she doesn't know that you have dinars. Continue.
No. And so going through this, she realizes that I have a South Dakota license. And she says, I'm not licensed in South Dakota, so I'm not even supposed to talk to you. She says, I'll get licensed. It'll take 24 to 48 hours to do it right over the computer. And she said, I'll get licensed, then we can talk. I said, great. So we exchanged information, so on and so forth. In the meantime, the private banking person called me and told me basically what they offer. They said, you'll have a team of 5. We have an accountant. We have an attorney. They won't be your accountant. They won't be your attorney. But any move you make during the exchange, anything else, any other time, they will advise you on what. If you want their help, all you got to do is ask, and they'll advise you, and then explain the rest of the team. She said, we're excited to start working with you. She'll get back in touch with you as soon as she gets her license. And I said, great. She called me Wednesday. We were actually over on the other side of Florida. And I said, I'll be back. She said, can you come in tomorrow? I said, no, I won't be back, but I'll be back Friday. I'll come in Friday morning. So I went in 10 o'clock this morning, sat down. We set up the accounts. She said, we're excited to have you. Explained a lot more of what's going on. We set up the 3 trust accounts. And I said, do I need to fund these now? And she said, oh, no. She said, you have 60 days to fund the accounts. They'll be here. They're in our private banking sector, and you have 60 days to fund them. And so you'll be fine by then. I said, okay.
Oh, okay.
So then I set up a personal account. I said, well, I need to go out there. I might as well set up a personal account just so I have something set up here that, we can have a debit card and that.
You went out you went out of her office to open an account. You got in line at the teller.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I'm opening the account, and she opens it, and then I I said, okay, I'll go up there and fund it. She said, just give them your account number, tell them what you want to put in it. I said, fine. So I'm waiting in line there. She comes up and she says to me, do you have dinar? And I said, yeah, I have a lot of dinar. And she says, really? I said, yeah. I said, I have 5 other currencies also, but I have a lot of dinar. Oh, great. Okay. Just wanted to know.
She said the word that started with an F.
Back out.
She said the word she said the word that started with an F, right? Fan?
Yes.
What'd she say?
Yeah. Fantastic.
You're in line, and she comes up to you because you're in line getting your account open, and she asks you, excuse me, you wouldn't by any chance happen to have the dinar? Is that what you have?
Yeah.
And you said yes, and she says, fantastic.
And I have a doctor friend that's going to exchange down here too. He's been waiting. You know, I told him the other day what happened. He said, I'm coming down there to exchange. She used to be in Florida. He's now in Illinois. So I told her she's going to get an Illinois license. But anyway, when she said, do you have the dinar? I said, yes. And I said, I do. I have 5 other currencies. But I said, my doctor friend, all he has is the dinar. She said, fantastic. That's fine. So I left there on a pretty high horse, to say the least.
I am so proud of you because when that lady, I mean, I'm sure in her mind she was thinking to herself, I wonder what his investments are. And she's had a lot of meetings, in my opinion, and she knows what's going on. So she had the itch.
I have a feeling when I walked out of the office, she called the private banking sector and they asked the question. But I don't know that for a fact. But
well, it's
the way she came up. Like I say, after we'd been in line a couple minutes, she comes up and just out of the blue says, "Do you have dinar?" I said, "Yes, a lot of it." And she said, "Fantastic."
And then I told you, I said, "Give me her phone number." We're gonna need a lot of banks. We're gonna need a lot of people, and the way you just described it. I'm going to make a phone call as well too. I'm reaching out. I'm trying to bond. I'm trying to get ready.
Well, two of the 5 people are going to meet with me, and this was very interesting too. Is she said his name and his assistant. She said they're going to meet with you next week. He has 2 meetings today, so he's gone, but they want to meet with you next week. And I said, great. And I said, where this private banking system is actually 65 miles from where I'm at. And I said, so will I go there? How does that work? And she said, oh, no, you're in the driver's seat. She said, they'll come here. You want to meet at a coffee shop? You want to meet at the bank? You want to meet
at your house?
Place? She said,
at your house, brother. You got that, you're safe, you're secure at your home. That's, that's home base for you. You're comfortable there. Bring your lawyers, bring your family, bring your friend that wants to exchange whatever it be. Have them come to you at your home.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm hoping in that conversation we get to know them well enough that we talk.
Yeah. Close
tax and find out exactly what they know instead of what I know.
Close the door. Take pictures of all the articles that are solid red and show them the proof, and then say, gentlemen, let's just be honest with each other, okay? We don't have to play games, and then take it from there. And like yesterday, the bank story that we had yesterday, the gentleman told the lady, look, you know the truth, okay? And if you're going to play games with me, I'm just going to get up and walk out. And then they talked. So you don't want to be mean, nasty, but you don't want to waste your time nor their time. You all know that.
Well, as I told you Monday when I talked to him, I knew she knew what was going on, but she didn't really say it.
They can.
And I said, this is going to get to be a better story or a terrible story, one of the two. And so when I got back today, then now I know 100% she knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, everybody knows. I can't thank you enough. When I say everybody knows, everybody that should know knows.
Yep.
Exactly. Some employees don't. Thank you, Mr. E. God bless you. And please, sir, please, please let me know what that meeting is like when you're done, okay?
I sure will.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the UB2B for today. It was again packed. It was loaded with a lot of information. And this bank story, it just Feel good story. Feel good because, yeah, it's not a secret. Everybody knows. What I find interesting is that only a small percentile of the United States of America, the population, only a small percentile knows about the Iraqi dinar. Only a small percentile. So I can't help but to wonder. I can't help but to wonder. Who are the people that have dinars? And I thought an awful lot about that. And in my opinion, as I say goodbye to you, this is a second wealth transfer. And it is my prayer that the majority is owned by the church. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I always give you some type of aloha, but I'm just going to say goodnight for right now. I did do some cool things, though. I'll take you back in the greenhouse tomorrow, okay? Unfortunately, UTUBE, whatever, messed us up with our first video. If you're watching this one, I strongly advise you watch the beginning of the first one so that you're not confused. Anyways, I can't think of anything else. Let me look at my notes and the pictures back here. How about you, Tank? Is there anything else we need?
No, I think you did it.
Asia has put an article out stating that the Indonesia rupiah will remove all zeros from the currency. Yeah, okay, we know that. Oh, really? Some guru, which I'd rather not say. Frank, this guru is telling people that you will be getting the 800 number. Is that true? No. You see, we already squashed that. We told you there is no 800 number. The internet community created that. Oh, there's an 800 number, and I have it. And if you want it, you better come and follow me. A bunch of crap. But what there is, who's the mother of all banks? Who's the mother of all banks? Tell that to this individual that's using my name and saying that Frank is going to release an 800 number. He's saying that because it makes him look good. Yeah, I was right. You see, Frank's got the 800 number. Yeah. No, he doesn't. But what he does have is the United States Treasury 800 number. Dial that number. Hello, it is U.S. Treasury. Yeah. Hey, you know all your banks? Yeah. Which banks are exchanging foreign currency? This one. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Got it? Or take your credit card. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatever. Take your card. Turn it around. There's an 800 number of the bank of that card. Call them. The 800 number is a delusion. It's the same thing as saying, give me your dinars. We're going to give you $5, $6, $7, $8. Yeah, because we're part of the Indian reservation. We're part of the United Nations Humanitarian Project. Yeah, we're part of the Dong Chao Ping group. Yeah, we're part of the International Water Cruise Yacht Ships. What? Yeah, I'm going to exchange my currency on what is it? Princess Yacht Club, yacht. That big cruise ship. What are you talking about? Yeah. You can. They have gambling there, so I'm just going to convert all of my foreign currency, Iraqi dinars, into American dollars on the ship, and that way I don't have to pay taxes, and I can help you. And you shut up. And I do this. I exaggerate this because that's what I deal with. I deal with it. I not daily, but weekly. The desperation of people out there, it's amazing. But I guess this is why I do what I do. I guess this is why God put me in this position. God bless you all. Thank you kindly for being with me. Sweet aloha to you. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have fun again. They always do something, don't they? Oh, thank you, Linda Tetrick. You say, what a wonderful bank story. And if anybody helped us with financial contributions, I'm humbled. I'm grateful.
Lisa did.
Who?
Lisa Osborne.
Lisa? We only had one?
Yes.
Well, thank you kindly, Lisa Osborne. I appreciate all this effort, and Lisa rewarded us. Thank you. It helps our friend Walking Stick. Already, and I say that to you in front of God. All the money that you guys send to us is used for Walking Stick, unless you allocate it for something else. All done?
Yep.
All done. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Sweet aloha. Bye-bye.